Sunnah guy is one of the biggest and fastest growing influencers in the Muslim space. He's amassed over 1.8 million followers on Instagram alone. He's cracked the content algorithm, Allahumma barik. But there's one major issue. Despite having all of those followers, his Umrah trips are being capped out at only 50 to 65 spaces. Do the math. That's a massive disparity. With all of those followers and hundreds and millions of views on some of his videos, he should easily be selling hundreds of spaces per trip. And I know what I'm talking about because with less than 5% of the followers that he had, we were selling out 100 plus spaces multiple times a year. And currently we have a sales and marketing agency called The Righteous and Rich, who we help Muslim business owners get to the next zero in terms of their revenue. So I know what I'm talking about. But today, don't stress. I'm going to give you guys, and I'm going to share things that can literally help take his business to the next level. And this one thing that I've identified in his funnel, that if he was to just change this one thing and one thing only, it's so powerful that it can actually make him the leader of all of the Umrah companies in the Western Hemisphere. But before we get into that, I want to talk about something that he's not even doing yet. And it's costing him to leave hundreds of thousands of pounds on the table and tens of thousands of lives that he could actually change if he was to take them to Umrah. And this thing just requires a few simple clicks on Google and just typing out 2 or 3 words. That's it. What is that thing? Let's go. Guys, everything I'm going to share with you today is not just applicable to brother Sunnah guy. It's also applicable to you and your businesses, building out your funnels. And this stuff will apply to you whether you're in the e-com space or you have a coaching business or you have an info product, a school community, whatever it is, right? This is universal stuff. Okay, so here's the thing. We all know that brother Shu'aib, as you can see, Allahumma barik, he has really clocked social media, especially the short form side of things. 1.8 million followers is not a joke. And Allahumma barik, per video, he is getting hundreds of thousands and some videos millions of views. So he really has this straight. And this is one lead acquisition channel, right? It's called organic social. But there's a lead acquisition channel that most people who are great at social media absolutely miss. And you know what that is? It's called Google. Okay, now you might be wondering, isn't Google just a search engine? What on earth does this have to do with marketing? Well, let me show you something, right? People who want to purchase things, they usually search for them on Google, right? You're trying to look for the website that you're going to buy it from. You want to get more information on this product or service that you want to buy. You'll search for it on Google. So let's just say I'm looking for protein powder. What do? I type in protein powder here and all these search results come up. Now, there's a bunch of search results, but the ones that are at the top are the ones that are sponsored. What does that mean? That means people are paying Google money for their product and service to show up at the top. Now, before I demonstrate how useful this could be for Sunnah guy, Shu'aib, who is running an Umrah company, I just want to explain to you how powerful this is in general. You see, when you're advertising on Instagram or on YouTube, you're telling people about your product or service. You're putting your Umrah poster up. You're telling people about your Shilajit supplement or whatever it is that you're selling, your training services or your marriage counseling or whatever have you, right? But on Google, people are actually searching for that particular thing. So this is why Google advertising is so powerful, because people are going out of their way to look for something that they actively want. And there are tools that you can use to actually see what is the search volume for certain words that are being searched. For example, if I type in an Umrah package and Umrah and Hajj, I can clearly see that there's a search volume for this, right? Now, how many searches that there actually are, you have to use a different tool to work out exactly how many searches there are. We only do this for our clients because we will actually go in and look up all of the words that are being searched for their product and their service on Google, and we'll create an entire Google ad strategy. We'll create a Google keyword universe for the words that they want to dominate, and then we write ad copy that's appropriate for those words to help capture those leads. That's something that if you're interested in speaking to one of my team members about, you can go to the link below and book a call, inshallah ta'ala. I don't want to get too deep into the technicalities, but right now I'm just trying to show you the opportunity here. So clearly there's search volume for Umrah packages, Umrah and Hajj. And here's the thing, right? The way it works on Google is that you can just outbid your competition. So for example, if I show you on my phone, people that are searching for Umrah packages in the UK, let's type this in right now, you can see that there is a sponsored ad, Al-Haramain Travels. Also, there's another one underneath it, Saudi Tours, right? Then underneath it, Etihad Travels, Rahma Tours. Now, how do you come out on top of all these guys? That's where we come in. We can do that for you guys. If you are interested, like I said, you can book that call below. But I just want to click on one of these for now, and you're going to notice something crazy, right? Look how terrible the website is. These guys are dominating and probably making a killing, because you wouldn't be running Google ads if you're not making money, because you have to pay for these ads. For them to be running these ads, right, with this absolutely terrible website, this absolutely terrible, outdated website. Look, another example here, Etihad Travel. Look, there's nothing special about this site at all. There's nothing, there's no reviews, there's no case studies, there's no scarcity, there's nothing that shows me that this is like an overly trustworthy, Umrah service provider. Brother Sunnah guy, if I come on his Umrah website, and for example, I see this poster with his face on there, what do you think is going to perform better on in terms of the traffic that's coming towards Google ads? This website that has no one known's face on there, or Sunnah guy's website where there's clearly a brother who's like everyone's pretty much seen his face somehow, somewhere, right? His name's Sunnah guy. It's so catchy. It's like, we know who this guy is. So point being is that with using Google ads, you could literally just dominate, bro. You could just dominate and place yourself at the top of hundreds, thousands of potential searches that are coming in every 2 days. And that's free traffic. And the great thing about Google is that you can test it and see results instantly, because people are searching every few minutes. And we'll take all the words in that universe in that keyword universe, and we'll optimize it for you, right? And by the way, we could do that not just for anyone in the Umrah space, any industry that works for. So I just wanted to mention that as a quick point of benefit. Babe, now let's come to the brother's social media. So a few points about his YouTube channel. Now, I don't want to comment too much on the brother's content strategy, because generally he's good. He's very good at what he does, Allah Mubarak. The only thing that I would just mention here is that he's not posting enough on YouTube, which is problematic. And usually people don't post a lot on YouTube is because they are very good. They've mastered the short form format, but they struggle to keep people's attention throughout long form. But he doesn't really have that issue, Allah Mubarak. His videos do well, right? For YouTube, 35K, 22K, 33K, 272K, 28K, 189K. This is great, right? If he was to be more consistent, he would build a much stronger brand. And the reason why I say that is because Google done a study, but they looked at over 1 billion touch points, and they wanted to look at what causes people to buy across these 1 billion touch points. And they mentioned that if people have spent 7 hours with you, that's likely to get them to buy. Which is why on our Umrah tips with Allah Azza wa Jalla's permission, we didn't have anywhere near as many views that he has on Instagram. And which is why there are many people that have agencies like ours, but they don't have the high ticket clients that we have, because they don't create long form content. People have spent 7, 8, 10, 20, sometimes 30 hours with me over the months and the years. So they're like, I'm going to pick Imran over anyone else, because every week I come and watch his video for half an hour, 45 minutes. I know this guy inside out. I'm connected to him. So I'm going to buy his product service. I'm going to go to his Umrah trip. I'm going to sign up to his marketing agency over someone else's, even if they have been around for longer and are bigger on a particular platform that has short form content. But in the long form content, I get to build a longer relationship with him. So I feel like Sunnah guy would absolutely blow if he took on YouTube as well. And just one quick point here. This is digital real estate, man, that really could be used a lot more effectively, helping you discover Islam. I would have had a poster for his Umrah trip here, because that's what he's currently selling right now. This is a bit too generic, doesn't really benefit. The name is Sunnah guy. It's clear you're helping us with deen and so on and so forth. I can see that from just the fact that you have a beard and the way you look. Allah Mubarak. This could have been used a lot more effectively. This is like a pinned post on Instagram. Anyways, let's come to the Instagram now. So, couple points that I want to identify. Again, I don't want to try and sit here and school the brother on his content strategy, because he's great at what he does. Allah Mubarak. He's got 1.8 million followers. He's built them obviously because he's doing a great job. There are a few things that I would recommend as suggestions for improvement, but let's see. There are more fundamental things that I would like to focus on. So look, let's number one come to his ad strategy here. The poster on it says The Way Home, a journey of redemption. And what do you see? You see a picture of Sunnah guy. This is the first thing that I think is a bit problematic here in the messaging and the marketing. This book called Building a Story Brand, and anyone who's built a social media brand would have probably read this book and recommend people to read this book. Very few people wouldn't have come across it, right? This is like a standard. And one of the things that the author mentions in this book, which I really benefited from, was he talks about not positioning yourself as the hero in your brand. Position yourself as the guide. What is he talking about here? People, when they come and watch your content and when they come to your Umrah trip, they want to come because they are the heroes of their own story, right? They are going through some pain and they want to fight against an enemy and overcome that enemy and eventually escape danger and get to this amazing conclusion, which is my life changed through Umrah, my life changed through your supplement service, my life changed through your PT service, my life changed through your righteous and rich marketing agency, for example, right? But here's the thing. They are the hero. I'm the guide. So my language and my imagery has to place them on the pedestal. And what I'm doing is I'm positioning myself as the guy who's been there, done that, and can help you the way I helped all these other people as well. When I look at this post, and I know for a fact, by the way, I know Brother Shoaib personally. He and I actually started doing that over a decade ago, many years ago. So I have nothing bad to say about the brother. He's a lovely brother, mashallah, tabarakallah. I don't believe for a second he's tried to present himself as a hero. This is probably a glitch or a problem that came from the angle of the design team. But here's the thing, sometimes design teams are great when it comes to making images, but because they don't understand marketing and branding and messaging, they mess these things up. And which is why we provide these services at our Righteous and Rich Marketing Agency. We also do the branding and the posters and all of that stuff and the logos, with the marketing mind guiding all of that. Right. So I feel like if he was to position himself as the guide and make this more about the people, this would have done a lot better. For example, on our Umrah trips, we would make it all about the people. Umrah with the mandim. That's what it was called. Umrah with the mandim, i.e. the guys. And on the posters, you would always see the guys. It got to a point I started taking myself off the poster and just putting imagery of the brothers. And that was a lot more powerful than just mentioning myself because, yeah, some people would want to come to Umrah because I want to be with Imran. Some people would want to come to Umrah because they're like, I want to be with Shoaib. Oh, 100%. But more people will come to Umrah with Shoaib and Imran if Shoaib and Imran can show them how much they're going to benefit them and how they're going to take them from point A to point B. And I know it's the same thing in his advertising as well. There was not much case studies. There was not much testimonials mentioning of people's life-changing experiences. Again, I'm not saying those ads don't exist, but at least from what I've seen, it wasn't there. Taib, that's his Instagram. There's a few other things that I could mention, but I don't want to make this too long. Let's go deep into the funnel. We're getting closer to that point that I mentioned, which is that big point that if he was to implement this one thing, it could literally make him into a leader in this space. Allahumma barik. And I want that for my brother. Okay, when we come to his website, we've now gone deeper into the funnel. There are some fundamental errors here that are really holding him back from maximizing the amount of sales that he could make and the amount of people that he could help. First and foremost, it says this trip is for brothers only. Guys, digital real estate. The same way buying real estate on earth is expensive, right? Digital real estate is also expensive. And what's the expense here? Traffic is coming to his page. If he looks at the amount of traffic that comes to his page, he's probably going to have thousands of traffic that's coming to his page regularly. But are thousands converting? Are thousands buying? Fact of the matter is no, because we know that the Umrah trips are capped from 50 to 65. What you have to do is if you go and look at your Google Analytics, you'll probably notice people are coming on and leaving in seconds, right? He can check that and you guys can check that. By the way, Google Analytics is a tool that you can use, that you can install into your websites to study the metrics. Where are the leads coming from? How long are they staying on the page? What are they clicking on? Blah, 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 so on and so forth. And then these metrics help us, for our clients, to move things around on the page, to optimize it so we can basically get them to stay on the page for longer and help them to click on the things that are ultimately going to take them towards a sale. So this right here, it says this trip is for brothers only. I would have had a headline here. That explains the pain points for the people that you want to target on this trip and how your trip is going to solve those problems for them. This is copywriting advertising 101. This trip is for brothers only. It's clear from the picture. There are only a bunch of brothers. And I'm sure people ask this question, which is why you got FAQ section. You could have had this in the FAQ section. It didn't need to be here. Second thing I want to mention is very good here. This is the guide element, right? This is the element of putting the brothers at the forefront. I like that. There's no element of positioning himself as the hero here. He's positioned the people as the hero. But I would have loved to see, I'm sure he's in this picture, but I can't see it. But that again is a fundamental issue. Okay, see, now he's there. It's great, Alam Barik. He's in the picture, but he's a guide. So I would have had a picture where maybe he has a prominent position amongst the brothers. He's kind of there like their teacher, like their guide, like the one who's kind of taking care of them. But nonetheless, It's a good move, Allah Mabarak. The second issue I want to mention here is that this button is at the top and it's not easy to read. Secure your place. I have to really look in. Now, the button is like the most important thing here because you want people to click. They will not buy it. They will not sign up if they don't click. So the button has to be visual, readable. Now, I'm not sure if you run tests, and maybe if you run tests and it's worked for you, then great, right? I could be wrong, but basic rationale shows me that this is not good. Number one, it's small. Number two, the color of the button and the text make it obscure to read. Number three, why is it at the top? This should be in the middle. This picture should have been here on the left or the right? And the button should have been massive on the side or above the fold. But actually, and you know what? When first time I came to this website, I actually missed the button. I was scrolling. I was like, oh, I have to go all the way to the bottom to scroll. Okay, here's where the book now is, right? So you want the button to be in their face, maybe put like a flash around it, put a line to it, underline it, so on and so forth. Also, there's no VSL. I would have had a VSL. You know, one of the things that was so beneficial for our Umrah trip was this VSL that we had. It was called From the Streets to Mecca, right? This VSL, it got 342,000 views. It literally explains the journey, shows the emotions, shows the guys that were on the trip, how their life changed. There's reference to me in there. We talked about the pain points and everything. This VSO alone helped bring us probably close to $500,000, man, in sales. And how many lives have been changed through this, only Allah Azza wa Jalla knows. So a video sales letter, again, this is something that we help our clients with. We script out the video sales letters for them from beginning to end, and, you know, we optimize and test and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's get to the big thing that I promised at the end. The one thing that if the brother was to do this, it would completely and entirely make his sales, like I was going to say 10x, but bro, this could actually make your sales 20x. This can make your sales 20x. I believe this is probably one of the biggest things that's holding him back from benefiting from that 1.8 million followers on Instagram. Only 50 people are actually coming to the trips, or it's being capped rather at 50. And I'm sure that they have the infrastructure to increase it, right? If there was more, if there was more possibility for conversion. So the point that I'm trying to get is 1.8 million followers, 50 people are actually buying, or 65, you might say. What's the bottleneck? This right here. Let me break it down to you. When you sell Umrah packages, what you're doing is you're selling a high ticket service. Okay? Look at the price. $1,599, $1,699, $1,799. These are high ticket prices. High ticket what? Prices. As a matter of fact, when you sell something that's high ticket, you need to jump on the phone and have someone that you can speak to that can talk you through the process, handle the objections, and get you to commit. Even us, way back then, we always had a phone, even though at the time we were doing our Umrah trips, we were not veteran sales guys. We didn't have a sales script. We didn't have a CRM like we do now in our business and with our clients. But still, we knew that we had to talk to people on the phone. Great, you've got WhatsApp, and I'm sure you do speak to people, but this is not a fundamental part of the funnel, right? Like anyone who's selling something high ticket, this is standard. They will say book a call. They will say book a call. But hey, you've told them, number one, what the price is. So people who probably can afford the trip, but are like, you know, $15.99, I'm not sure if I'm going to commit to that right now, we'll just turn away from it. But rather, if you get them on the call where they can speak to someone that they feel they trust, that handles their objections, that they can then follow them up in case they forget, something happens in their life that takes them away, gets them distracted, can reach back out to them and say, hey, have you decided? Can let them know, space are running out, blah, 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 keep following them up. You will see a much higher close rate. But hey, you've told them what the price is, you've got them to fill the form, and it's a long form, right? And straight away you're asking for their card details. Make the payment, secure my place. That actually blew my mind that even 50 people are paying right now. That actually blew my mind that even 50 people are paying through this process. And you know what that shows me? Is that the brother has trust in the market, Allah Mabarak. It shows that he's got trust in the market, that despite him selling a high ticket product without a sales process, without a CRM, there's no lead capture. There's no way to capture the email to retarget them. That's another issue, right? Is that This website should have immediately had a pop-up on the screen that grabs the email, or before they click secure my place, grabs the email so you could follow them up through CRM, retargeting, email, SMS, phone calls. He's got none of that. That right there alone would 10x, 20x the sales, inshallah ta'ala. Like, honestly, I'm mind blown that people are paying, 50 people are paying high ticket like this just on the back of a form on a website. That means he's got trust, Allah barik, in the market. If he just had, book a call to get more information, and you have a dedicated sales rep who's going to take 10% commission on the back end, and then that enters them into a CRM where emails are sent out to them, text messages are sent out to them, and the sales rep has a script, and the sales rep is speaking with them, and he's handling the objections, he's following them back up, right? He's answering their questions, he's doing all of this stuff for them. You will see your sales rate skyrocket through the roof. Skyrocket through the roof. We used to have we've had times where we've had an 80% close rate, which is ridiculous because of the trust that we have in the Muslim market. Likewise, Sunnah guy, if you've got trust in the Muslim market like this, I can't even begin to imagine what your close rate will be, Allahumma barik. I can't even begin to imagine. Now, I understand that the reason why the brother's probably not done this is because he might not know how to build out a CRM or sales process, or have sales reps that he can find or train, or get those sales reps to have a script that can handle objections. We do all that. We find the sales reps, we do that for you, we build out CRM, we do all of that. This right here, if he was to fix this, I believe this could blow him through the roof. So hopefully you guys found that beneficial. Shu'aib is doing a great job, Allahumma barik. He's helping young brothers change their lives. Ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to give him so much tawfiq and so much success. If he fixes these things, he'll become a leader in this space, and then any other service that he brings about afterwards will blow throughout the roof. There are some other things that I wanted to mention. For example, the lack of scarcity on the website. There's no urgency. There's no reason for people to commit right here, right now. But you know what? That's something that, if you guys are interested in learning more, wanting to know how we can fix these things, just book a call with one of my team members below. What I did on the call right now is literally what they'll do for your business. Whether you've got an e-com business, whether you've got a coaching business and a mentorship business, a school community, this is what we thrive in, right? Alhamdulillah, we've helped our clients make hundreds of thousands of dollars. That one client, alhamdulillah, on the back of our Google ads that we were helping him with, in 14 days, got 100k close. Another brother, Fawaz, you may know him, got 100k close on the back of just one call with myself, with Allah's permission. We've got 8-figure clients that are really booming right now. We're helping them build out their personal brands, optimize. There's so much that I'm saying right now, and I don't want to overwhelm you, confuse you. In essence, if you've got a business and you have marketing and sales bottlenecks, we can help you. So book a call at the link below, inshallah ta'ala, and let's see if it makes sense to grow your business out to the next level. With that said, I've got to love you and need you. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.